Picture this, fellas. You're standing there, a proud dad in your early 50s, fresh off a long shift patrolling the highways, ready to surprise your little girl with her favorite ice cream sandwich. You're leaning against your truck, soaking in the kind of sunny afternoon that makes you glad you survived another day of speed traps and paperwork. Your daughter, Sarah, all of 10 years old, is about to roll up on the school bus. She's a fighter, born with legs that don't quite cooperate. Cerebral palsy's a hell of a thing, but she's got more grit than most grown men I know. Those leg braces of hers, they're like battle armor, scuffed and sturdy, carrying her through a world that doesn't always make room. Now enter Brenda McMillan, the self-crowned queen of Paradise Pines HOA, late 50s, hair sprayed into a helmet, clutching a clipboard like it's the Constitution, and toting a yappy mutt in a purse that costs more than my monthly mortgage. She's the kind of woman who'd fine you for a lawn gnome that's half an inch too tall. Brenda's at the bus stop, waiting for her grandkid, already tapping her foot like she's auditioning for a drill sergeant. The school bus pulls up, stop arm out, lights flashing, and kids start spilling out. Sarah, with her bright pink backpack bouncing, is last in line, taking her time on the steps. Those braces make every move a calculated mission. But she's got this. Or she would've, if Brenda hadn't decided she was the goddamn bus czar. Brenda starts with the sighs, loud, theatrical, like she's auditioning for a soap opera. Some children take all day. She mutters, loud enough for the whole block to hear. The bus driver, a guy who looks like he's one bad day from quitting, glances over but doesn't say squat. Brenda's the HOA president, after all, and in Paradise Pines that's like being the Pope. Sarah's halfway down the steps, gripping the handrail, when Brenda storms the bus door like it's a Black Friday sale. Hurry up, young lady. You're holding up the entire neighborhood. My granddaughter has piano. Sarah, bless her, tries to explain she's gotta go slow. But Brenda's not hearing it. She scoffs, rolls her eyes, and then, guys, I'm not kidding, reaches into the bus, grabs Sarah's arm, and yanks her down the steps. My daughter stumbles, her braces catching on the edge. She hits the sidewalk hard, knees and hands scraping concrete, one brace twisting with a sickening scrape. Her backpack spills pencils and a half-eaten granola bar. Brenda looms over her, clipboard in hand, barking. See what happens when you dawdle? This is an HOA-regulated stop. We have standards. Sarah's trying not to cry, but she's 10, and some power-tripping harpy just tossed her like a sack of potatoes. I'm across the lot, ice cream sandwich melting in my hand, and I see red. I'm a state trooper, trained to keep cool when idiots try to run from a ticket. But this is my kid. I sprint over, heart pounding like I'm chasing a felon. And I'm there in seconds, kneeling beside Sarah. She's shaking, blood on her knees, but she's tougher than Brenda'll ever be. I look up at this HOA tyrant, who's still lecturing like she's God's gift to bus schedules. And I swear, every ounce of me wants to cuff her right there. But I'm off duty, in jeans and a flannel, and Brenda doesn't know she just picked a fight with a guy who's got a badge and a serious grudge. Here's where I need you, brothers. You're me watching this go down. Your little girl's on the ground. This clipboard-wielding dictator's blaming her for disrupting the neighborhood. My trooper brain's screaming, stay calm, follow protocol. But my dad heart's ready to go full vigilante. What do? Charge in, fists clenched, whip out your phone and call for backup? Or do you play it cool, knowing you've got the law on your side? Hit the comments and tell me, how do you handle a bully who's dumb enough to touch your kid? Because let me tell you, Brenda's about to learn that her HOA rulebook doesn't mean jack when you mess with the trooper's family. Brenda McMillan figured her HOA crown made her the sheriff of Paradise Pines, free to manhandle kids and write her own laws. Big mistake. She didn't know I spend my days tracking down punks who think they're above the rules, and I'm damn good at it. Back at the house, Sarah's curled up on the couch, ice pack on her scraped knees. Her leg brace, scuffed from the fall, sits on the coffee table like a war trophy. I'm in the kitchen, snapping photos of her cuts and bruises with my phone. Each click fueling my resolve. I jot down every detail. Brenda's exact words, The way she yanks Sarah. The bus driver's nervous shrug. My notebook's filling up fast, and it's not just a dad's diary. It's a case file. I call a few parents from the bus stop, keeping my tone calm but firm. Most are cagey. Brenda's got them spooked, but one dad, Mike, texts me a shaky video clip from his phone. It's grainy, but it shows Brenda storming the bus and Sarah hitting the deck. Jackpot. I save it to a digital folder on my laptop, labeled Brenda's Bad Day. Next, I phone the school, reporting the incident to the principal and the transportation folks. They're rattled, promising to pull the bus camera footage. Then Brenda doubles down. A certified letter lands in my mailbox, stamped with the Paradise Pines HOA seal. It's a formal complaint, accusing Sarah of loitering and delaying bus operations, and me of threatening an HOA official. She's demanding a public apology and a $500 fine. I laugh so hard I nearly choke on my coffee. Brenda's got no idea she's just handed me more rope to hang her with. I tuck the letter into my evidence folder, right next to Sarah's injury photos. Words spreading through the neighborhood. Whispers at mailboxes. Side-eye glances at the community pool. Brenda's got a rap sheet longer than my patrol route, targeting families with messy yards, hassling kids with disabilities, strong-arming anyone who doesn't kiss her clipboard. Folks are pissed but scared. She's ruled this place like a petty dictator for years. Time to get to work. I pull the HOA's covenants and bylaws off their website. 50 pages of jargon that'd put a lawyer to sleep. I skim through, cross-referencing with state laws on assault, child endangerment, and ADA protections. Brenda's little stunt. It's not just a violation of common decency. It's a criminal offense. Yanking a kid off a bus, especially one with a disability, isn't covered under maintaining community standards. It's battery, plain and simple, and messing with a school bus is a felony in this state. I start drafting 2 documents. A response to the HOA, polite but laced with steel, and an incident report for official channels. My trooper badge might be in my dresser drawer, but my training's right here, ready to bury Brenda in her own paperwork. Brenda McMillan thought she'd choreographed the perfect HOA kangaroo court to humiliate Sarah and me. She didn't count on a state trooper walking in with a binder full of evidence and a badge in his pocket. Her little hearing was about to crash harder than her dreams of neighborhood domination. I spent the week before the HOA showdown preparing like I was building a case for a grand jury. The school came through with the bus camera footage, and it's a beaut. Crystal clear video of Brenda storming the bus, yanking Sarah, and Sarah's hard fall to the pavement. Mike's shaky phone clip from the bus stop backs it up, catching Brenda's mid-rant tirade about standards. I've got photos of Sarah's scraped knees and hands, her scuffed leg brace, and a detailed timeline of the incident, down to the second. I dug into state laws, assault, battery, child endangerment, ADA violations, and cross-checked them against the HOA's own bylaws, which Brenda's clearly never read. I even coached Sarah on how to tell her story if she felt up to it, keeping it simple. Just the truth. No embellishment needed. My evidence is locked and loaded in a sleek black binder, tabbed and organized like I'm presenting to a judge. I'm ready to turn Brenda's circus into a courtroom. The hearing's held in the Paradise Pines clubhouse, a stuffy room with fake wood paneling and a long table where Brenda presides like she's Judge Judy. Her 2 bored cronies, a pair of spineless yes-men in polo shirts, flank her, nodding along to her every word. A couple dozen residents fill the folding chairs, some curious, some just here for the gossip. Brenda's in her element, clipboard in hand, her yappy dog snoring in its carrier by her feet. She opens with a speech about maintaining order and upholding community values, then launches into her case against us. It's a masterclass in fiction. Sarah's a chronic loiterer who disrupted bus operations, and I'm a hostile, aggressive parent who threatened an HOA official. She waves her complaint letter like it's a royal decree, claiming we owe an apology and a fine to restore harmony. The crowd murmurs, some nodding, others shifting uncomfortably. Her cronies smirk, thinking this is a slam dunk. Then it's my turn. I stand, buttoning my blazer, civilian clothes, no need to flash the badge yet, and set my binder on the table. Ms. Macmillan, board members, residents, I begin, voice steady. I'm here to address these baseless accusations and present the facts. Brenda rolls her eyes, but I'm just getting started. I walk the room through the incident, step by step, like I'm briefing a patrol unit. I project the bus footage on a portable screen I brought. Thanks, Amazon Prime, for the quick delivery. The video plays. Brenda's impatient march to the bus. Her rough grab, Sarah's fall. The whole ugly scene. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Brenda's face tightens, but she tries to interrupt, claiming the footage is out of context. I shut that down with a raised hand. We'll get to context, ma'am. Next, I play Mike's phone video, showing Brenda's lecture over Sarah's crumpled form. I pass around printed photos of Sarah's injuries, her bloody knees, the dented brace. I read from my notes, quoting Brenda's own words. This is an HOA-regulated stop. We have standards. The room's dead silent now, except for the dog's snores. I pivot to the law, laying out the statutes Brenda violated. Simple assault, battery, reckless endangerment of a minor, and ADA noncompliance for targeting a disabled child. I cite the HOA bylaws, pointing out that no rule authorizes manhandling kids or interfering with a school bus. Which, by the way, is a felony under state code. I keep it tight, no grandstanding, just facts stacked like bricks. Brenda's squirming, her cronies pale. I let the room sit with the weight of it all, then deliver the knockout. On top of this, I say, reaching into my pocket, I'm not just a dad defending his daughter. I place my state trooper badge on the table, slow and deliberate, letting the gold glint under the fluorescent lights. As a resident, I'm appalled by Ms. Macmillan's actions. As a trooper, I'm duty-bound to report these crimes. And as your HOA, you're now on notice of your liability for letting this happen under your watch. The room erupts, gasps, whispers, a few muffled cheers. Brenda's mouth hangs open, her clipboard forgotten. Her board buddies look like they're praying for a trapdoor. The residents, smelling blood, start speaking up. A mom in the back shares how Brenda fined her for her autistic son's disruptive stimmying at the park. An older guy gripes about Brenda's crusade against his vintage car in his driveway. The stories pour out, each one a nail in Brenda's HOA throne. Her cronies try to gavel the meeting to a close, but it's chaos now. Brenda's empire crumbling in real time. She stammers, trying to deflect, but nobody's buying it. I gather my binder, give Sarah a reassuring nod, and sit down. The hearing's over, but the fight's just beginning. As we leave, neighbors pat my shoulder, some apologizing for staying silent too long. Sarah, clutching her backpack, looks lighter, like she's shed a weight she didn't know she carried. Brenda's still at the table, red-faced and muttering to her dog, probably plotting her next move. Let her try. I've got the law, the evidence, and a neighborhood waking up to her nonsense. She wanted a public shaming. Well, she got one, just not the one she planned. Brenda Macmillan thought she could dodge accountability with an internal HOA investigation and a few crocodile tears. She didn't bank on a state trooper's report hitting her like a freight train, backed by a paper trail that'd make a prosecutor grin. The morning after the hearing, I file my official report with the state trooper agency, laying out Brenda's assault on Sarah with every scrap of evidence. Bus footage, Mike's video, injury photos, witness statements, the works, to avoid any conflict of interest. Nobody's saying I'm biased, but I'm not taking chances. I request the case be handed to the local PD for criminal investigation. I also fire off a complaint to the state's HOA oversight agency, detailing Brenda's abuse of power and potential fair housing violations, especially her targeting of kids like Sarah with disabilities. Copies of both reports go into my evidence folder, now thick enough to double as a doorstop. The school district, meanwhile, isn't playing around. After reviewing the bus footage and my report, plus the driver's belated statement, they slap Brenda with a ban from all school property and bus stops. Her grandkids' piano lessons are gonna need a new pickup plan. Brenda's not going quietly. Detectives from the local precinct haul her in for a formal interview about the assault and possible child endangerment. Word is she showed up in a pantsuit and pearls, clutching her dog like a shield. and tried to spin the whole thing as a misunderstanding. The cops aren't buying it. Bus footage doesn't lie. On the state level, investigators start sniffing around the HOA's books and practices under Brenda's reign. Neighbors whisper about past shakedowns, fines for unapproved paint colors, threats to families with too many kids. The HOA's in full panic mode. Brenda's bored cronies, smelling the heat, start throwing her under the bus, claiming they were just following her lead. Residents flood the community message board, demanding her resignation. Brenda's holed up in her McMansion, curtains drawn, but not before she's caught trying to strong-arm Mike into deleting his video. Nice try, lady. Cops already have a copy. The neighborhood's buzzing. But it's not all pitchforks yet. Some folks, the ones who liked Brenda's iron fist vibe, grumble that I'm overreacting. I hear it at the gas station. She didn't mean to hurt the kid. Yeah, and I didn't mean to write a report that'd get her charged. But here we are. Most residents, though, are done with her. A petition for a special election to oust the whole board gains traction. And I'm just sitting back, letting the community do its thing. Sarah's back at school. A little quieter but holding her head high. Her teachers say she's getting extra hugs from classmates, which makes my chest tight in a good way. Then the hammer drops. The DA's office, armed with the bus footage, witness statements, and my report, files charges against Brenda. Misdemeanor assault and battery, with a possible reckless endangerment count pending. The court summons lands at her door, and I hear from a buddy at the precinct that she tried to talk her way out of it. Name-dropping her HOA title like it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. The judge wasn't impressed. Brenda's looking at a court date, and the neighborhood's already placing bets on whether she'll show up with that damn dog. I add the summons to my evidence folder, right next to the HOA's complaint letter, poetic justice in paperwork form. Brenda's world's unraveling. And it's not just legal. Her for sale sign's half expected now. But she's still digging in. Probably thinking she can bully her way out of this mess. She doesn't get it yet. You don't mess with a kid, especially not a trooper's kid, and walk away clean. The law's got her number, and I'm just warming up the popcorn. Brenda McMillan's reign of terror didn't end with a whimper. It ended with a guilty plea, a courtroom full of side-eye, and a neighborhood finally free of her clipboard tyranny. Sarah, my little warrior, showed the world what real strength looks like, and Paradise Pines, starting to live up to its name. The courthouse showdown was no Hollywood drama, but it was satisfying as hell. Brenda, decked out in a navy blazer like she was headed to a board meeting, faced the music with her lawyer whispering in her ear. The evidence was a brick wall. Bus footage, Mike's video, Sarah's scraped knees, my report, and a half-dozen witness statements from neighbors who'd finally found their spines. The DA had her dead to rights on misdemeanor assault and battery, with reckless endangerment looming if she played hardball. Brenda, ever the strategist, took a plea deal to dodge a trial that'd air her dirty laundry for the whole county. She copped to the assault charge, landing a year of probation, mandatory anger management classes, a $2,000 fine, and restitution for Sarah's medical bills and a new leg brace. The judge threw in a permanent restraining order, no contact with Sarah, ever, and barred her from holding any HOA position again. Brenda stood there, lips pursed, dogless for once, as her reputation went up in flames. I sat in the back, arms crossed, feeling the kind of calm you get when justice does its job. Back in Paradise Pines, the fallout was seismic. Brenda's resignation from the HOA board was less a choice than a survival tactic. Residents were ready to storm the clubhouse with pitchforks. Her cronies jumped ship, and a special election swept in a new board. Regular folks, parents and retirees who actually cared about the neighborhood, they got to work rewriting the bylaws, torching Brenda's petty rules about mailbox colors and lawn ornaments. I chipped in as a resident, not a trooper, suggesting updates to ensure ADA compliance and fair treatment for all. The board even mandated training on conflict resolution and disability rights, so no kid like Sarah would ever face another Brenda. An accessibility audit led to curb cuts at every corner and a new ramp at the community pool. The crowning touch, a shiny, accessible swing set at the park, donated by a local business. With Sarah taking the first ride while her classmates cheered, Sarah's been the real hero. The incident shook her, no question. Nights of bad dreams. A flinch when the bus pulled up, but she's tougher than a $2 steak. With support from her teachers and a counselor, she's back to her old self, boarding the bus with a grin. Her new leg brace decked out with glow-in-the-dark stickers. She even spoke at a school assembly about living with cerebral palsy, fielding questions from kids with the poise of a seasoned cop. Her old brace, scuffed from Brenda's stunt, sits on her shelf like a trophy. "It's my battle scar," she told me, and damn if I didn't tear up. The neighborhood kids treat her like a rock star now, and I've caught her teaching them how to decorate their backpacks with the same flair as hers. Brenda's a ghost these days. Her house sports a for sale sign, leaning crooked like her legacy. Rumor has it she's moving to a condo somewhere far away, where HOAs don't exist and nobody knows her name. The neighborhood exhaled when that sign went up, like we'd all been holding our breath for years. I see it every morning when I wait at the bus stop with Sarah, just to watch her climb those steps at her own pace. No clipboard-wielding tyrant in sight. I think back to Brenda's obsession with schedules and standards, and I chuckle. She's got a court-mandated schedule now, weekly check-ins with a probation officer, and Sarah's setting the pace for the whole damn community. Sitting on my porch one evening, cold beer in hand, I reflect on how Brenda's petty cruelty backfired. She wanted to shame my kid, control the neighborhood, flex her HOA muscle. Instead, she handed us a better Paradise Pines, one where kids play without fear, where neighbors wave instead of whisper. It's not perfect, but it's ours, and we're building it together. Sarah's out there now, swinging on that new park set, laughing with her friends. She's not just my daughter. She's the spark that lit this change. You guys know the deal. Bullies like Brenda thrive until someone calls their bluff. If you're fired up about a state trooper dad and his badass kid taking down an HOA dictator, smash that like button. Share the saga with your buddies. Let's spread the word that justice hits hard. Subscribe for more tales of Karens getting their comeuppance. And ring that bell so you don't miss a single one. What's the most outrageous HOA stunt you've seen? Drop it in the comments. Let's hear those horror stories and keep the fire burning.